G'day guys and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you a very standard clear on Ekko jungle. This first jungle path is the best and most optimal for Ekko jungle in season 14, and that is a raptor start clear. So you can see I'm starting Q on the raptors. I make sure I hit all the raptors with my Q as I'm kiting it to the boundary of the leash mark. Make sure you only focus the big chicken as you wait for your Q to come back up. Once your Q comes up, hit all the chickens and start kiting it towards the Krogs. As you come up towards your Krogs, your Q should be back on cooldown, so you want to throw your Q out, smite the Krogs instantly, and I'll show you why you smite your Krogs in a second. So you want to drag the Krogs out to the boundary, and you can see all the little Krogs spawning at the moment. So now your Q's back up, throw the Q out, hit all the Krogs, order the red buff, walk behind it and get that backwards Q damage. Very essential to getting a fast clear on Ekko, and something that you really need to practice. Unlike my other video on the fastest Ekko clear time, this is more of a standard clear with attack speed runes instead of double adaptive, and taking the inspirational tree instead of absolute focus and gathering storm. So you can see I'm just finishing off my red buff. We have the E now. We want to EQ over the swore onto the wolves. You want to focus the big wolves the same as the chickens, and then you want to kite it towards your Gromp. You want to save your E for the Gromp, and then you want to E onto the Gromp. The reason why you go attack speed on Ekko is because you can kite your camps a lot easier, and it helps you get that auto attack to hit your 3-hit passive proc on enemy champions, which is really essential because that's where all of Ekko's damage is on that passive. And now your Q is back up, so you're able to kite that Gromp out around 200 to 300 health. And now we're working on finishing off our blue buff. Obviously you can smite it if you know the enemy jungler is not around to speed up the clear time. But essentially after you clear the blue, what you want to do is do the scuttle crab. And then you have around a 20-second window where you can look for a gank or an invade. And then you want to head back to your raptors and Krogs. When you clear your raptors and Krogs for the second time around, you'll get level 5, and that really helps with Ekko's early game, getting him to that level 6 so much quicker. And now I'm going to show you an alternative jungle path starting on blue. A blue start is really good if you're versing an early game enemy jungler such as a Lee Sin, Nidalee or Kindred. So what they most likely would do is do a red camp start and do 3 camps in their own jungle and then look for an invade at your blue buff. Sometimes they do buff to buff, so they'll start their red buff and go straight to your blue buff. I recommend warding if you think this is going to happen in the river to avoid this situation. So as you can see, I'm kiting out the blue buff all the way to the boundary mark here, and then when it gets to around 400 health, your passive auto should come up again, and then you can start walking towards the Gromp. A blue start is also good if you want to gank bot early on. Say if you got a Nautilus or Thresh lane, this is really good in pathing down and heavily prioritizing that bot lane to gank constantly. So as you can see, I'm dragging out the Gromp as much as I can as it gets lower on health, and I'm now starting on the wolves. So what you want to do again is just focus the big wolf and let the AoE damage kill the little ones. You want to drag the wolves past the leash boundary area, and you want to save your Q for the raptors. Once the raptors are getting low, your second Q should come up, and what you can do is you can last hit the raptors with your Q, E onto the red buff and get that backwards Q damage. Again, super simple, kiting out the red buff towards the next camp that you want to go to, which is the Krogs. Here I save my Q for the Krogs while I'm ordering the red buff, and then I can E onto the Krog for that passive damage. This really speeds up the clear a lot. As you can see, I finished this clear at 319, which is super fast for a blue buff start. And that's it guys, this has been a super simple jungle clear path on Ekko. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you next time.